Hello, Gems. Welcome to the VTuber Voices podcast. My name is Syafire, and I'll be your host. On this podcast, we like to talk about what it's like to be a VTuber, to be virtual, as well as emerging VTuber tech, building your business, and all things creative. In this season 6, we will be interviewing Fofamit. Fofamit is a partner on Twitch and a VTuber over on YouTube. She is well known for her wisdom and knowledge on VTuber technology. She's also a teacher, so she's very good at talking and teaching to people about how to do pretty complex things, which is super fantastic because she's helped so many people in the VTuber community. In this episode, we will be talking to her about why we both think sharing knowledge is so important and putting it out there, especially free knowledge, how to get started on YouTube. We talk a ton about different resources and things you can find to help you move forward if you wanted to take a YouTube direction with your VTuber, and also why you should consider making an online course. Enjoy.
Hi.
Hello. Welcome in. How's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
Yes, doing great. Let's go. Heck yeah. So would you mind introducing yourself? Tell everybody what you're about, what you do, so everyone knows a little bit about you.
Well, I'm Fofamit. I'm a VTuber. I'm known mainly, I guess, for doing cool stuff with VTubing stuff, like making my own Unity app and like my YouTube channel where I share all that kind of information.
Yes. So first question is, what got you into becoming a VTuber? How did this whole thing start for you?
VR chat.
Oh.
Started in, yeah, just because like I got VR. I was really excited to just have VR.
Yeah.
And then I saw this thing that popped on my list because I'm like, oh, there's this free game called VR Chat. So I logged in and I tried it. And then after some time, I saw people with like these floating cameras in front of them. And I'm like, I found out that they're streamers. So I started streaming that. And then afterwards, I was like, how can I do this outside of VR Chat?
Yeah. How long have you been streaming for?
Like 2 years.
So you started in VR Chat. When did you decide to make that switch or try and figure out how to make it happen outside of VR Chat?
Like about a year ago. I was trying to like figure out how to do it. And like, I started messaging like other people that I saw. And for the most part, it was like everyone was being super tight-lipped about what they were using, which was Suva at the time.
Yeah.
Until one person like told me about this one application called Magic Mirror. And then just because like I had a really friendly relationship with them, and I guess they just didn't see the point in keeping something silly like that a secret. And then that's basically what started it. And then at the time, Unreal Engine just acquired like a facial capture company for iPhone. Mm-hmm. And they just released Live Link Face, and I started playing with that on Unreal Engine. But then I was having a lot of issues with Unreal Engine, so I switched to Unity.
And I'd noticed too that recently you said you had worked really hard on your last video that you posted, finally figuring out all the Unreal things. And I want to thank you too because it sounds like you're pretty against like the whole secretive thing and gatekeeping, and you're really open about your knowledge and your wisdom and the things you learn. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah, the only time like I'll withhold information is like if I think it's not good or I can't present it in a good way. So for example, like the whole tracked objects thing, it took me so long to do because like I couldn't figure out like a great way to present it. So like that's like the only time, I guess. Or like if someone's like, why aren't you recommending the VR headset that you have? And it's because like I think it's a waste of money and everyone should just get something else. So like I got the Vive Pro Eye. Mm-hmm. And like, yes, it's the only VR headset right now that has full facial capture, but like, why would you buy like 6-year-old technology?
That's really responsible too of you as an educator and a creator, because I think some people, will just like put things out there to see how it does. But the fact that you're taking responsibility and really giving yourself time to figure out how it works before presenting it, I really respect that.
Thanks.
Yeah. Advice for starting on YouTube. How did you get started on YouTube, and when did you start posting on there, and how did that sort of go for you?
I started posting a while ago, but like not like taking it seriously. And then around that same time when I stopped streaming as much VR chat, mm-hmm. I started really focusing really hard on the YouTube channel. Like the key thing is like, don't reuse things from stream unless it mm-hmm. fits the YouTube format. So like talk shows would work, podcasts would work, But like if you're just like, you know, streaming you playing like a game or something, like no one wants to watch that VOD.
Yeah.
So like you got to make content that's like specific to it, and then like you just have to like, I don't know, like I got lucky because at the time VTubing was like not really a thing and people weren't really sharing. So like I was like, I guess I got the first to the gate luck.
I'm surprised too, actually, though, that it took as long as it did for VTubing stuff to happen, especially because VR chat was here for a while. But I think maybe it was because of the whole technology thing, like just not having those programs. Like you said, what was that first program you said? Is that the one that VR chat, people in VR chat were using to put their avatars on stream?
Suva, yeah.
Suva?
It's Stream Your Virtual Avatar. That's what it stands for. It's very out of date, so I don't recommend anyone using it now.
Yeah,
but I do think it costs $1, but it's like it's a completely different setup process than every other VTubing application. So it's like it's not worth using right now, especially like with the state of VC face. It's like why?
So you're saying the UI and just everything to get it set up is a lot more work compared to the new programs that are available.
It uses FBX.
Yeah,
it requires its own format. And it only allows for 9 expressions, and you have to have 3 Vive trackers.
Wow, you have to have 3 Vive trackers? Oh yeah, I guess you'd have to have full body to be able to do everything.
No, it doesn't allow for full body. Just
oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, super interesting. Cool. Yeah, Rosa says, who could you turn to for help when you're starting as far as YouTube and content creation goes?
I would say Harris Heller is really good to follow.
Harris is great.
Linus Tech Tips. Then like in terms of like actual like specifically avatar stuff, well, like your YouTube channel is good. And
Thank
then
you. No, you.
Suvi Drell is also really good. And then there's also Argama Witch, also really great. And Fia is also good.
I think it depends too on the specific area you need help in, because there's some people who are, like you said, Linus Tech Tips, that are more like tech oriented, and I'd say people like Harris Heller are more like, I don't know what word I want to use, like philosophical, or more like strategy driven, but also a little bit more on like the emotional end of things as well.
Oh, and then like I would also really recommend is like it's gonna seem weird, like Corridor Crew, not Corridor Digital, but Corridor Crew, just to like. Oh, especially like their VFX artists react, just like so you can see all the cool stuff that's happening in VFX, because like a lot of it does apply.
What's Corridor Crew?
It's like Corridor Digital. Like, do you remember like the old like Freddy W videos on YouTube?
Freddy W. I don't think so.
Like portal guns in real life.
Oh, like special effects, like in real life, like on top of your camera. I know what you're talking about, but I don't know what that is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like they're people who specialize in special effects. So like, but like the thing is like their origins are like starting from home and having home PCs, and they still like you can very much see that when they're talking about things like how can you do this kind of stuff on your own.
Oh, that's so cool. See, there's so many different routes and there's so many different channels that you could go to depending on the advice you're looking for. There's camps and such too. This is really dependent on the person though and who you are. Like, for example, I was in something called Stream Coach Academy, Rosa, which is something that was pretty much to help like with stream growth and all that. It's a whole course that I took under Ashney Christ. And then there is also something that I just signed up for, which is Think Media. They're one of my favorite YouTube channels that talk a lot about growth and stuff. And they have this program called Video Ranking Academy. So there's stuff like that too, but I would recommend that more for when you really feel like, you know, YouTube or something like that is something you really want to be a big part of your life, because it can be a really big investment money wise. But yeah, what Fofa said, what I said, those are lots of good ways to be able to start. So did you plan on being on the tech end of VTubing, or did it happen to you without it like being your intentions?
That's kind of what got successful. I mean, like, I don't know what else I could talk about.
No, yeah. The reason I asked too is because like I think that happened for a lot of people like who ended up doing tutorial VTuber stuff. Like for me, I'm an artist. I told you this, and some of that like crosses over into VTuber stuff, but like I never thought I'd be a VTuber tutorial person, and that's why I was curious if it sort of just took you, like you said, that's what became successful. Same thing happened for me. Like I was putting stuff out on my channel, but then like the VTuber video popped up. I was like, oh, why did that happen? How can I continue to make that happen? And then I sort of like learned a bunch through there.
Oh, also, like I'm sure that you find this as well. Like,
yeah,
it's a lot easier to like when you're streaming, because like someone will be like, hey, how do I do this, or how are you doing this? And like, rather than having to answer the same question over and over and over and over again, just like, check out my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
Have, like, one of those sneaky links that like pops up. Do you want to subscribe?
Yes, exactly.
Like brings up the entire screen and there's like a little box that's like, do you want to subscribe? Yes. Or like you have to click off the entire box.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's a good point too, because I plan to start shifting my stuff towards more like art education, sort of like stepping out of VTuber stuff. I'm kind of like being a VTuber, but I'm kind of stepping out of like that tutorial realm. But like you said, I think it's good too. So like anyone in our audience, that if there's something specific that you stream and you happen to get a lot of questions on this, for example, say you're a speedrunner in Celeste or something, and then they ask you like, how do you do this? Oh, you can make speedrunning videos on Celeste for tips. And then again, when people ask you in chat, yo, how did you do this? You can have a YouTube link to that. So for example, if I'm streaming art and somebody says, how do you get better at sketching? Hey, check out my YouTube video that says, how you get better at sketching. And like Fofa says, it helps you avoid answering like the same question thousands of times over, and it reaches out and helps multiple people.
I've actually, one thing I've toyed with is like, if so, like this would be, I already have videos, like let me explain, like this is something I've been like cooking in my brain right now, is I already have videos on how to, like if you link a bunch of videos together, you'll be able to set up your own VTubing stream, no problem.
Absolutely.
Like, that's still a common question I get. So like I was thinking, you know what? Like Marcus Brownlee has like a YouTube like a YouTube Skillshare.
I hope you have a good stream.
Video like series on Skillshare, like just going into greater detail, giving examples. And I'm just like, I could do that.
Yeah.
Like, basically all it would be is on YouTube, you don't want to take up too much time. If I can explain something in 10 minutes, I'm not going to spend 30 minutes talking about it. Whereas like, I think on Skillshare, like since people are like signing up specifically for that, they know what they're getting into. So like, I could just spend more time and more details and go like step by step, like you would in a classroom. That's something I've been thinking about doing.
No, I highly recommend that. For one, I just know online courses are a great, like another source of income. And I know you're not necessarily looking for that, but just like to put that out there. Two, it's affordable, especially if it's something like Skillshare. And then you're giving people like the option of spending cheap money for education while supporting you, while having several options depending on things that they're trying to learn. And then you could recommend other people on Skillshare too. If it's like, okay, this person has that answer, and since you already have Skillshare, you could like check out this class or this course. So I think that's a really good idea, and I genuinely feel like you should take that direction.
Yeah, as long like my philosophy, as long as I have a free option is good enough.
Yep.
And like the paid option is also there, and all it would be is just like, I guess more hand holding.
Yeah, absolutely. Exactly. And I come from a background too with like not really having the finances to support myself. So I'm very empathetic of that. And partially why I love YouTube so much too is being able to help people without having a pay barrier. So again, I think that's really responsible of you. And I think a lot of people can get caught up in like the money side of things. So that's awesome. Good for you. Rosa says, what aspect of VTubing do you enjoy the most? Is it rigging or gaming or something else?
I don't think anyone enjoys rigging. Like,
oh my
God. Even though that's like something that I do to supplement my income right now, like I don't.
Yikes.
I like the end result.
Your face expression was perfect.
But no one likes it.
Yeah.
So like to like put it out in the air, like I do. I rig people's faces for Apple AR Kit. To put it this way, I know there's tons and tons of people who know how to do it, and they choose not to.
Because they don't want to?
Because they don't want to.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It's so tedious. But like the only thing that's nice is like at the end result is nice, but like, I don't know. Like, for example, Twin Tails knows how to do it like really well. And she's like, yeah, I don't want to do that. I know some 3D modelers who know everything about Blender, and they're like, it's not worth my time.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
But what I really do like is I view VTubing not like I view it as like I view it like as a webcam plus. You can do things in it that I think like the best example of like the best non-VTuber would be like Sushi Dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen Sushi Dragon?
Mm-mm. I've never seen Sushi Dragon.
Basically, it's like this IRL guy with like I don't know, like 3 computers strapped to his body, like a Google Glass like heads up display. Like he's turned his entire warehouse into like an AR kit, like an AR reality art, like augmented reality.
Yo.
So like you're watching it and it's like you could see like chat windows like floating around. There's like all this like cool stuff that's happening. He can interact with things that are like real and not real.
Yeah.
It's like it's super cool.
Oh my gosh. That is epic. Oh man, I'll have to check him out. That sounds really awesome. And I definitely think like, when more people figure out how to do that and how to integrate it into their stream, that we'll see lots more of that. YouTube as well.
Epilepsy warning.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us on the VTuber Voices podcast. Lots of valuable information about growing on YouTube, our thoughts on YouTube, and people you could go to for help if you're looking to grow a YouTube channel. And overall, just a great conversation so far with Fofa. It's been a ton of fun. I really enjoyed it. We'll be continuing our conversation with her on the next episode of season 6. See you guys then. Have a wonderful day and remember to shine brightly.